Hello everyone and welcome back to Learning to Be Prepared. My name is Jeremy and today I have a new product I want to introduce you to. Now this is a product that I have been excited for the last few days to get and it's because it's a newer line of products. It's made by ThruNite, but it's a secondary brand that they've come out with called ATactical. So I just received the light today and it's more of a first impressions because this is a fairly new light. Not too many people seem to have their hands on one yet. So I'm really excited to introduce you to it. Now, for the last 2 or 3 years or so, the flashlights that I've used the most are Phoenix, Factor, and ThruNite. And ThruNite has pretty much been my all-time favorite flashlight since I've gotten into the tactical series of flashlights. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to pause the camera for just a moment and we're going to adjust it and we're going to actually do the unboxing of this light and we'll start from there. Okay guys, well we're back and I'm excited to get this box open because I have not opened this until this video because I have wanted to truly give you my first impressions on it. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and take a look at it. I ordered this off of Amazon.com. Okay, so inside it's your standard Amazon shipping. Okay, so here we go. This is what it looks like. And this box looks very similar to the ThruNite packaging as well. So I can already see some pretty interesting similarities even from the get-go. So to get this little party started, go ahead and open it up here. So it's going to come with your instructions here. And it has the flashlight, 2 spare O-rings, and a cable. This flashlight, the model number is A1. And my understanding is they're going to also come out with a second one. Now, at first glance, this looks pretty much just like the ThruNite flashlight, which I have some right over here I want to show you. So this is going to be my ThruNite TC12 version 2. And as you can see here, I'll get it right in the view of the camera, they literally look almost absolutely identical. So I can definitely see some similarities looking just at the flashlight as well. This one has a little light right here that's very visible on the level button. This one, it's likely that the light, it's not going to be right here. What I was reading online is that when the battery gets low, the actual bulb will blink twice periodically as you're using the light. So there are the 2 spare O-rings, and this is the mini USB cable. Now the interesting thing is that there is no USB port on this flashlight, and that is because on this light, and let me see if it's actually, okay, it may have something inside here. Yep, there it is. A lot of flashlights now put this little piece of paper to keep contact from the battery and this so that it doesn't use up the battery. So what they did is it uses an 18650 battery, but it's very interesting because right on the battery itself, right there, is a USB port for your mini USB cable. So while the flashlight is technically sort of rechargeable, I guess it's better to say that the battery that comes with it is USB chargeable, but the actual body of the flashlight is not. I don't know that one is better than the other, but this is certainly something that I have never used before, and I've never even seen it on another flashlight. I was watching the video by Chris from Prepared Mind 101, and he stated that he knows that someone else does this as well. But this is pretty cool. It's just a different way of charging your flashlight. This is a 3.7 volt, and it's 2600 milliamp hour battery, and of course, as you saw, it comes with the flashlight. Now, this flashlight only costs $19 and some change, so I think basically $20 off of Amazon. So I think it's a pretty good deal. So once you screw that back on, it's got a nice feel to the click on it. It also has where you can do the momentary on. And the way that you adjust the level of the flashlight goes back to the regular ThruNite flashlight as well. So you turn it on the back. So that looks like that's going to be low, medium, high, and turbo. And one more should be SOS here. And for a spare moment, I'm going to show you, if you hold down this button, it'll go to strobe. Okay, so one of the things that I would like to see on this light that isn't here is that it does not have Firefly mode. Firefly mode is really cool for when you see that's actually on, you can barely tell even when you put it near the table here. Firefly mode I think is really cool to have, because if you're in a movie theater or a dark car, you turn on Firefly mode and you don't blind yourself. Also, if you have the light on Firefly mode and you accidentally turn it on in your pocket or your bag, it will take a very long time for it to drain down the battery. Now, looking at this flashlight here, it's going to have low, which is 10 lumens. It's going to have medium, which is 63 lumens. High is going to be 200 lumens, and turbo is 550 lumens. Your strobe and SOS modes are also going to be 550 lumens. On low, it runs for 5.5 days, and on medium, it's 19 hours. On high, 5.5 hours, and on turbo, 3.3 hours. Now, they weigh, by hand, they feel very similar. So let's get the scale out here, and we'll see what these are. We'll start out with the ThruNite TC12 version 2. This is a gift from my dad, which I was really thankful for. I love this light, and it's what I EDC every day. That's 4.8 ounces. And the ATactical A1 is 4.6. So, pretty much almost exactly the same. So that's pretty cool. And if I go to the Phoenix PD35, 4.8. So they're pretty much going to be the same weight. The pocket clip is the same as the TC12. It seems to be on here pretty tight. And that is a very stiff pocket clip. Now, one thing that I think I like really well on it, it has this little lip on it. I'll move it closer. Right here. I really like that, because when I'm using the TC12, the lip is not quite as pronounced. And so on this one, when I put it in my pocket, it works sometimes. Either, unless this still needs to break in a whole lot more, I have to kind of bend it upwards. So looking at this one, this more pronounced lip may be exactly what I need to be able to pocket it much better. So that's what it looks like so far, guys. Very straightforward. So if I do it on the wall here, see, there you go. It's going to be low, medium, high, and turbo, and strobe there. Well, we will see how this light works out. As of right now, I really like it. I like the form factor of it. It weighs and feels pretty much exactly the same as what my ThruNite does. I can tell that I'll already want to adjust this by turning it a different direction a little bit, so that it feels a little bit better in my hand. Sometimes when you have this turned, it doesn't feel as well in your hand depending on how you're used to holding your light. One other thing I want to do here, since this is, keep in mind guys, like I said, this is my first impression of the light as well. It's the first time I've held one, and this is the unboxing. So I wanted to also see how it fits in my holder here. Perfect. This is a holster I found online. It was $14.95. If you just search PD35 holsters or ThruNite TC12 holsters, this should come up. And this is just a Kydex holster. So I'm very excited that it fits in there nice and neat. A couple of things that I've been looking at online that explains a little bit of the difference between this and the higher end ThruNite is that the LED and the electronics in this are not quite as high end as the ThruNite, but they're definitely, from what I understand, still very, very, very good. And it leads me to have no concerns on the use of this flashlight. The other thing that my understanding is that this is a little bit different level coating than the ThruNite. I think it's like a level 3. And so what they did is they made the aluminum supposedly a little bit thicker on this flashlight. But as I use this light more, and as I can get some more information on the light, I'll be able to understand some of the differences a little bit better, I hope. Okay guys, well, I wanted to kind of bring all of this down to a practical view of this light real quick. We all love to look at gear and look at different flashlights and things like that. But the truth is, it all costs money. So when we're looking at this new ATactical line of flashlights, being a more budget flashlight is actually an exciting and great thing in my opinion, because a lot of us are trying to build different bags for different purposes. We're trying to build EDC kits for our cars. And when you have expensive flashlights that cost $70, $80, $90 or even more, it's hard to be able to buy 6 or 8 of those to have in different places. So to have a budget flashlight that's made by ThruNite with great internals, great LED, and craftsmanship, I think that's exciting, because now we could afford to buy a few of them and put them in different places. Now, if you're like me, I can't afford to just buy a whole bunch of flashlights at one time, even at $20 a piece. But my goal would be over time to get a few of these, because I could put these inside my car, and if someone were to break in the car and take the flashlight, it's a lot easier to replace a $20 flashlight than an $80 flashlight. Or, you know, like I said, some of those flashlights, they can range, like the Surefires, they can go up to hundreds of dollars for a single light. I also wanted to clarify one thing, that when I was mentioning earlier about the coating or the outside of the body of the flashlight, the ThruNite TC12 V2 uses a level 3 coating from my understanding, and it's less, or it's more scratch resistant. This one is apparently a level 2. So what they did is they made the aluminum a little bit thicker to make sure you still have that same protection. But as I use the light more, and hopefully as I can get a hold of ATactical and talk with them, I'll be able to get more details on the construction of the lights and some of the ideas that the company has for the lights, and to be able to get a lot better feel of it. But what do you guys think about them coming out with a second line of flashlights that are a lot more affordable for us who can't afford higher end flashlights all the time? I think it's a great thing. And from looking at this flashlight, you know, we're looking at a $20 flashlight that looks almost pretty much identical to the ThruNite flashlight. I mean, there's just a few minor differences. And check this out. This is something else I was really impressed about. For $20, you get this light that looks identical to a ThruNite and some of these other brand flashlights. So you still get the great look of the light, of the tactical look and the tactical feel. This is another flashlight that I bought online that's a budget light. I think it costs between $10 and $20. I don't know exactly how much it is, but you're looking at a light that almost costs the same as this one. But this one does not have, in my opinion, the cool look. The front end has a round lens, and it's just, at least from what I can tell of this light, the quality and the shape, and it's larger too. It's not as easy to put in your pocket. So when you're spending $10 to $20 on a light like this that is not very good quality, I mean, it's the best flashlight in an emergency is the one that you can get to. And that's why I have this light, is I can put it somewhere where I have access to a light, and it doesn't have to be a high-end light. But for about the same amount of money, I can get something like this now. To me, this is completely and totally exciting because I love this type of light. This is what I'm used to carrying on patrol when I work for a security company or when I do security at our church. This light, I feel comfortable with it in my hand. I'm used to this. So if I'm going to have some more budget-friendly flashlights in some of my gear bags in my cars and places where I don't want to just leave an $80 flashlight all the time, this is phenomenal. I would much rather pay $20 for this and be pretty much exactly what I'm used to versus having something like this that is bulkier, it doesn't look as tactical, and it's just not as fun to use. You know, this is a light that when I show other people, I'm excited about it. It doesn't look cheap, and it doesn't feel cheap. It feels exactly like my ThruNite. So I'm very excited, guys. Leave your comments below on what you think. Thanks for watching, and stand by as we do a video on this in the future after having it for some more, a longer period of time, so I can see how it holds up, how resistant it is to drops and scratches and everything else. I'm excited, guys. Let me know what you think below.